What's going on, chat? This is your boy, Bearded Bear 9000. Today, we're reacting to Fall Damage. And he's got a video out here called Best, what is it? Ranking Every Wife in Skyrim in my ghetto ass setup. We're going to react to it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on his takes. Here we go. Is he right or is he wrong? Let's find out.
One of the most difficult choices someone could make. So, naturally, the choice is all the more terrifying to make in Skyrim. I mean, at least in real life, you can divorce someone if you don't like them. But in Skyrim,
True.
love is lifelong. So, in today's video, we're going to make sure the guards don't come questioning.
So, how many people actually ended up murdering one of their wives? Pause. No, but seriously though. I've made some mistakes on some playthroughs, okay? And let's just say, there's a certain Daedra that would have enjoyed receiving them to their realm. Pause.
You about the mysterious death of your spouse and rank all the wives in the game to see who's best for the Dragonborn. Number 26. Priestesses of Dibella. Orla, Senna, and
Facts. So facts. This is gonna be a long video. These motherfuckers are the biggest assholes. They're so ungrateful. Stay at the temple for no damn reason, and there's no beds. There's nothing there. So if you enjoy sleeping on the fucking floor, then that would be a great place for you to be if you're a devout Dibella follower. And it's just not worth the cup of tea, bro. Not worth it.
Amwem are as holy as they are bitchy. These three women become open to marriage after completing the Heart of Dibella, but I would strongly discourage you from tying the knot with these priestesses. Being the holy women that they are, the priestesses won't tolerate any crimes. Hell, they'll probably be the ones putting bounties on your head in the first place. On top of that, these women are pretty clear in that they're worshippers of Dibella first and your spouse second. These women are notorious for remaining at the Temple of Dibella, despite specifically asking them to move into one of your homes. And since there are no beds in the temple, you can say goodbye to the Lover's Comfort perk. When you consider that these followers also aren't followers, you'll realize that they're functionally useless as spouses. So, unless you're role-playing as a Dibella zealot, there's absolutely no reason to marry any one of these priestesses. Number 25. Viola. Viola is hands down the most annoying spouse in the game, and a runner-up for the most obnoxious character in the entire game. This silver fox...
Hold on. For everybody to understand, I have put 15,000 hours into Skyrim. 15,000. The problem with that is, if you do the calculations, it's like a year's time in real life in Skyrim. Now, this is a span across multiple accounts, let's be fair. Okay. My old Xbox account, I don't have anymore, so I can't go and get those numbers again, which is unfortunate. But between my current Xbox account and my PC account, it is like nothing compared to what my old Xbox account used to have. But I do have several witnesses to attest to the fact that anytime a new game would come out, I would never play it. I would always play Skyrim. Always. I was devoted.
is found in Windhelm and is unlocked as your spouse after solving the city's serial killer problem. But why you would choose this nonagenarian over all the other bachelorettes is beyond me. Not only is she old enough to be most players' mothers, but it's also clear that Windhelm has taken a toll on her. Despite being an Imperial, Viola has all the smart...
I could see if you're role-playing as like an old elderly wizard, then you might grab a Viola, but she's also dumb. Extremely dumb. She was trying to blame the recent murders in Windhelm. She was trying to blame them on weather, I think is one of the lines that I remember overhearing. And it was just like, what? It's -5 out, so everybody's just starting to murder each other? It's crazy, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. I understand why she's this low. It's why? Why would you choose her? There's other older women in the game that would be a much better choice. There's a Dunmer, yeah, yeah. There's a Dunmer lady. I think it's she has you go get the Crimson Urn route, which is fucking annoying. But she is just as old as she is, but she is much more well off, and she's actually somewhat intelligent. So yeah, no.
arts or lack thereof of any other Nord. Though her efforts to stop the
I'd
butcher
put
of
her below the
Windhelm are
Dabilla
commendable,
followers
the
just
downright
because the
idiotic
Dabilla
theories that
followers
she
are
boldly
actually
explains
at
to
least
the
attractive.
guards do nothing but muddy the waters. From blaming the Dark Elves to thinking the weather has something to do with the murders,
I
Viola insists on
I
being
knew it. I
Windhelm's
knew it.
biggest
I knew it. 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 I called it. I fucking called it. I remember that specifically. The weather one was just like, what? I just overheard that one day. It's like Grand Theft Auto. Like you're running around and then like occasionally you'll hear something that you haven't heard in a while, so you just pause. Yeah, that's Skyrim to a T, just as much as it is with GTA. It's freaking nuts.
moron, and for a city full of Nords, that's impressive. So, unless you really like Viola's house, or just have a thing for older women, then I'd suggest getting far away from Viola. Number 24. Temba. If you're looking for a kind and soft-spoken wife, then Temba's not the spouse for you. Found
Okay, so I knew that Timbo was a wife, like a marriage candidate, but I don't think I don't think I ever, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I never married her in any playthrough that I've done. Because like there was even one playthrough that I did where there was a mod that um still works on AE, but it's just not as good anymore. And it's what is it? The Become Jarl of Iverstead. That's what it's called. And it just was not the best mod. But even then, when I did that and I kind of role played becoming a Jarl and all that, I picked from Iverstead. And I picked somebody that the game added in, or that the mod added in as a marriage candidate instead of Timba.
in the mountain village of Iverstead, Temba's as hot-headed as they come. She hates bears almost as much as Ulfric hates logic. She's also extremely judgmental. I mean, here I was building a house from scratch in the beautiful wilderness, and the first thing she has to say is how dangerous it is to live outside city walls. And if this is how condescending she is with the Dragonborn, just imagine her with the kids. Overall, Temba has a strong personality. Some might say too strong. She's without a doubt going to be freaky in bed, which you may be into, but I
Facts.
prefer getting my lover's embrace bath without having to be tied up, gagged, and punished. Number 23. Aerie. Although marriage in Skyrim is about as complex as first-grade math, Aerie might be the most boring person on the entire list. This Nord lumberer can be found spending her day
It's sad. I know who this is, right? When you put as many hours into the game as I have, you pretty much remember everything for the most part. But she is literally, as he said, she's literally one of probably the most boring NPC in the game. I literally never paid her two minds. I know who she is, and I knew that she was a mill worker, but there's nothing there to like grab me and say, "Hey, pay attention," you know?
days working at Anger's mill, and if you collect enough firewood for her, she'll begin to fall for you. She might not be the prettiest lady in the land, but she does have a nice place in the pale, and her hardworking attitude is sure to make your kids hardy. But Aerie has one problem. She's incredibly boring. It feels like Bethesda created a wife that was made to have the closest resemblance that a human could to a piece of cardboard. She has no unique quests, barely any dialogue, and her personality is as dry as dust. She's not exactly
Fuck.
unlikable, but I just can't see any reason why someone would decide that Aerie is the one. Number 22. Avrusa.
Okay. So this is the dark elf girl that I was talking about that you have to go get the Crimson Urn route for. and she actually is well off. She's got like a farm and shit, and she's actually like found a way to grow Nirnroot in the land of Skyrim, which is very cool. So she's not dumb by any means, but she's also old as fuck. Like old. Like not by human standards old, like older than old. It's crazy. Now, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Fuck it. Let's keep going. We're literally what are we like we're 3 minutes 56 seconds in and I'm at 11 minutes on recording. Jesus Christ.
Mavrusa doesn't really have much going for her. The fact that she's managed to grow and cultivate Nirnroot, a plant famous for not being able to farm, is commendable. It
Facts.
almost justifies her horrid mug and decrepit voice. Now, I know that love is supposed to be blind, but when the biggest difference between spouses is their voice and looks, I'm going to take note of it. That's not to say that
Told
this
you.
dumb one
Told
doesn't have
you. Older
merits. She
than
has a
old.
kind soul and a large, valuable estate that you can live in. Considering her age, which is old enough to be the father of
Look
your
at that shit.
grandmother,
Are you
I'd say that it's
serious?
only a
She's
matter
got a
of
whole
time
ass
before that
windmill,
farm
bro.
becomes yours. But the biggest reason Avrusa is so low on the list is her quest. Collecting bear pelts for timber is one thing, but Avrusa wants an ultra-rare type of crimson Nirnroot that's only found in the depths of Black Reach. There are many things I'd do for love, but delving into an underground city to help this Nirnroot addict get her fix is where I draw the line. 21. Camilla. Marrying Camilla Valeries is one of the most newbie mistakes in the game. That's not to say that Camilla is a
Facts.
terrible spouse by any means. She's business savvy, kind, and hardworking. But like getting married to your high school sweetheart before your brain is even fully developed, marrying Camilla sounds like a good idea in your first couple of hours. But by the time you get to level 30 and get acquainted with the very best Skyrim has to offer, you start asking
True.
yourself why you went for this humble village girl in the first place.
Okay, so there are a few playthroughs where I actually did go through a relationship with Camilla, but they were all actually like pretty dark playthroughs. One of them was a vampire, and I basically just wanted to take her away from Sven and Faendal and then corrupt her into a vampire. That was part of the playthrough that I was doing, the role play. Is actually very enjoyable to actually like watch that become a thing. That was actually sick.
Was it because you actually liked her personality and company, or were you just desperate to get your sword sharpened? At least in your next playthrough, Camilla can teach you an important lesson. Think with what's up here, and not down there. Number 20. Uthgerd. Uthgerd is just fine. She's older than most of the other bachelorettes, but not to the point where you're marrying a will more than anything else. Uthgerd is also a seasoned warrior, and despite her age, she fights with as much vigor as she would have in her youth. And though she'd be a perfect lover for an equally aged dragonborn to live like they're young again together, Uthgerd is just not all that interesting, beyond that specific roleplay scenario. And because this, in tandem with her being a pretty weak follower overall, makes Uthgerd just barely make it into the top 20. And just so we're being honest, Uthgerd seems like the kind of person whose kinks would leave the Dragonborn with anything but a well-rested bonus. Number 19.
Okay, so for the most part, I agree with him. Modded, definitely Uthgar jumps up to probably about top 5 because like there's a bunch of different mods that will kind of restore her youth to her. Because like voice wise, she's good, but like definitely looks wise, not so good. So yeah, modded Uthgerd is good. Regular vanilla Uthgerd, no so good. But yeah, I listen. In my personal opinion, the people who are like the most dominant in their IRL life are most likely to be the most submissive in the sheets. Now, there are times where they are both, but most of the time, they also want to find a time to surrender to somebody else, but they just don't want to do it publicly because it makes them look weak. So, yeah, those are the ones you got to keep in mind. You know, you got to keep in mind. Pause.
Nyada. Nyada is definitely the most controversial spouse in the game. Some find her personality to be much the same as Temba's, while others can see that she's really just playing hard to get. The first meeting with her in Jorvaska doesn't make the best impression. She's brash, cold, and condescending to the Dragonborn, who's just trying to make a friend. But as you go through the ranks of the companions and prove your strength, Nyada begins to warm up to you. And though this could be a good recipe for a companion, Nyada's the last person I would want as a wife. The house will quickly be filled with mead and swords, neither of which should children be around.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's wrong with meat and swords? What if I want to be a sword collecting alcoholic? There's a playthrough for that. There's a role play for that. Whoa.
Speaking of the kids,
He's right
they'd
though, he's
probably
right.
be better off begging on the street than having the Dragonborn and Nyada as a parent duo. So, unless being talked down to by your wife is some weird kink of yours, I'd look for love elsewhere. Number 18. Iona, Yordis, and Rhea. Like in the followers tier list, the housecarls also get the short end of the stick in the wife department for the same reason.
They're so terribly bland. And like one thing, right? Because there's a lot of things that you do for the different holds that are not just random tasks that you have to do in order to become a Thane. But I would understand more if it was like, okay, so you're in Morthal, you defeat Movarth, and you automatically become a Thane from that. I would be okay with a bland follower. But if I've defeated a vampire and I've saved the town from a murder mystery, and then I also go through and I do like 3 or 5 or whatever the requirement is to become a Thane, and then I purchase a property that costs me a fuck ton of money or materials, and all I get is a bland housecarl? No good backstory, no interesting dialogue, no interesting things to say. That was definitely an oversight. Obviously, hindsight is 2020 on this. So, now that we have mods, I mean, it changes things dramatically. But back in like vanilla Skyrim 2011 days, wow. Wow. Ungrateful bastards.
They're all just far too the same. All three of these housecarls are unlocked after buying a home in their respective holds. Beyond that, and slightly different look, they're virtually identical. Hell, two of them even share the same voice. Ultimately, the likability of the housecarls comes down to personal preference, and realizing which housecarl I didn't include in this grouping should tell you which is my favorite. But since these three
Real quick. Real quick. I'll take her over Lydia any day of the week. I don't know. Maybe it's the makeup. I like the little makeup get up she's got going on. So I think that's why I like her more than Lydia. But to be fair, he hasn't shown the one that I chose in my personal playthrough first time round. Yet. Yet. So we'll see. I don't know where she's ranked on this, but we're going to fight about it if she's not in a place that I feel deems her worthy. Okay? Okay.
aren't unique in any way whatsoever,
As
it's
far as the
hard to
house
put them
carls go,
any
though, I
higher
like
on the
her the
list.
most.
Number 17. Hilland. Though some of the women on this list need little more than a back scratching to win their hearts, others are a little more hard to please. Case in point, Hilland. This Nord warrior is a part of the hunting party at Thirskmead Hall. Deciding to side with the Nords will lock you out of having Reiklings as pets, but you must do so for the
First playthrough, chat. First playthrough. Which one did you pick? Okay. Which one did you pick? Did you side with the Reiklings or did you side with the Nords? I ain't gonna lie. I didn't give the Nords the time of day. I said you guys are so fucking weak that you lost to a bunch of scamps, little shits, little goblin shits. Are you kidding? You don't deserve this haul. So I sided with the Reiklings in this, and I sent the Nords packing. So tell me what y'all did in the chat.
sake of love. But we're talking about Hilland here. For her, merely taking down an entire Reichling tribe isn't enough. After regaining the hall, you'll then have to accept her quest to retrieve an additional 50 Reichling spears.
50 is fucking crazy. 50 spears. Her fucking body better be made of for 50 Reichling spears. 15? That's a lot more reasonable. 50? She gonna give me Baron Zaya's crown? What the f-
And give them back to Hilland. Only then will she deem you worthy as a lover. The question now is if she's worth the effort. Well, Hilland is a pretty skilled Nord warrior with a max level of 60.
True.
There's no denying that Hilland is as beautiful as she is capable. She's also one of the 3 spouses that can live with you in Severin Manor, becoming the brother-in-law of Thirskmead Hall's leader.
That was weird, by the way. Like, there were so many limitations to like who could chill with you in Severin Manor, and that was very annoying. Skyrim has a modding scene because that was one of the major fixes that needed to be done. Because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Is also sure to bring some political perks, so long as you didn't kill her, that is. But in all honesty, Hilland is asking for a lot and providing little in return. If she doubled as a follower like Morwen does, then she'd definitely be in the top 10. But as it stands, Hilland's going to have to be single for a little while longer.
True.
Number
He makes a good point
16.
here.
Tari. Tari is the only high elf you can marry, and for good reason. These pompous
Listen, to be fair, he's about to say it, but to be fair, she's an asshole, but like tastefully so. Like, she'll be an asshole 1 second, and then she'll be like, "Oh, take the store." Or what did she say? She says, "Take the world by storm, dearest." So like, obviously she gives a shit, but she just holds you to a fucking standard, and I think that's okay. It's definitely easier to get along with than the frickin' Dabilla followers. That's for damn sure.
Mer are as eloquent as they are egotistic. She can be found running a tailoring
Also, she's
business in
rich as fuck.
solitude with a twin sister, so you'll never have to
The
worry
drip.
about being short on cash while Tari is your spouse. But this high elf clearly likes to spend as much money as she makes. Tari's decked out in fine clothes and has a judgmental attitude towards those with, let's just say, poorer taste. It might be off-putting to be a hero of the people while having a wife who critiques the fashion choices of orphans, but for the more
Nah,
arrogant
she
players,
clears.
this is a dream come true. So, as long as you're role-playing as a dragonborn as self-absorbed and grandiose as she is, then Tari is a perfect match. But outside of these rigid boundaries, your
He's
love is
not
best
wrong,
given
though. He's not wrong.
elsewhere. Number 15. Dravanya.
Wait, can you marry? You can marry the other sister, can't you? I thought he said earlier that she was the only high elf. Is she really the only? Why do I think? Maybe I am confusing her sister for her. But for some reason, I thought you could marry the sister. I'm confused, but I'm pretty sure. No, I think he might be right here. Maybe it was a. I don't know. I've modded Skyrim so much now that they're kind of blurring together. So tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. If you can actually like be with her or not be with her, or if it's just Tyree or Terry or whatever her fucking name is. Alright.
If you're looking at this list from a pure utility standpoint,
Solid
then
pick.
Dravanya is one of the
Solid
better picks
pick,
on this
to be
list.
fair.
Found in the secluded village of Kinesgrove, this dummer is an expert in alteration magic, as well as being a generally helpful person, who provides the local miners with a cooling potion to beat the heat when entering the caves. Providing Dravanya with frost salts to help with the creation of said potion is all that needs doing to win her over. She may not be the most fetching spouse in Skyrim, but she makes up for that with her cold yet kind personality. And being a trainer in alteration doesn't hurt either. Overall, Dravanya is a fine pick for someone who's bored of marrying the same wives over and over again.
True.
Number 14. Gorza. Blacksmiths are going to be tough no matter what race they are, but an orc blacksmith operating in Markarth is going to be a world of hurt in the bedroom, and if that's something you're into, then Gorza's the wife for you. Gorza will become as smitten as a kitten for you after you retrieve her apprentice's book for her, so not only is she easy to please, but also cares for her employees. But like I said before, I doubt that Gauze is the type to be thrown around in the bedroom. But if you're the kind of player who likes it when the bandits punch you and could barely hold yourself together when you were
I
bound
could see
and
that. I
gagged in the
suppose I
game's
could see that.
opening, then Gorza might just be the one for you. 13. Borgak. Borgak the Steelheart is the ultimate warrior's wife. Hailing from Morkazga, this chieftain's daughter is unlike her fellow orcs. While protecting their stronghold is paramount for the other Orsima, Borgak wants to be rid of all that and take up the adventurer's life instead. And if you successfully convince her to do so, you can become her first friend from the
She's
outside
actually
world.
pretty cool.
From there,
Pretty cool
wooing
follower.
this powerful orc is merely a matter of showing your strength in battle and flexing your amulet of Mara. Not only is Borgak an excellent follower during the early game,
Done a couple of different like warrior style playthroughs where I ended up having her. I think it was Uthgard, Miol, her. I think we're pretty much my top three like different like go-tos for like a warrior's playthrough before I got super heavy into like doing the different retextures and all that shit. So yeah, she's definitely up there for sure.
but her likability is only exacerbated once you tie the knot. She'll shout romantic words of encouragement during battle, as well as be saddened when her favorite outlander leaves her company. Borgak, despite her strength, doesn't hide behind a veil of cockiness. For that, she's the perfect spouse for an aging warrior looking for a stoic companion by their side. Number 12. Rhea. Another companion, Rhea, was the freshest recruit into the guild before
Call this a hot take or don't call it a hot take. Boring. Boring. I get like, we're both companion thing and it's kind of unique and whatnot, but boring. I thought she was boring. Call it a hot take, call it a cold take. It's still a take. She's boring.
you joined, which not only makes her more relatable, but also gives her humility, something which is sorely lacking in Nyada. And really, Rhea can be seen as the opposite of Nyada. While Nyada is rude and condescending,
That is true. That is true. She is much better than her. Like, not even close.
Rhea is kind and respectful. She'd not only make for a great mother, but also an excellent adventuring buddy. And although she may be a little boring, I don't have anything bad to say about her. So, if there's something you find particularly attractive about Rhea, then I'd say go for it. Just don't look too much into her adventures with Vilkas. Number
By the way, can we talk about that? Like, the whole time you're in Yoravaskar and you're a companion, like, that's all you hear about is, like, getting down on who? On them, quote unquote, hunting trips. You just had to go slay that same bear for the third time this week? Ay,
11. Gilfra. If cougars are your thing and Viola is too insufferable, then Gilfra is going to be the next best thing. This Imperial owns a lumber mill near Windhelm and knows nothing of city life. This is all the better for me, considering I just spent 10 hours building a house in the wilderness, and it's not like she plays hard to get either. All you have to do is sell a block of firewood to her, and she's head over heels for you. And considering her age, it's not hard to see why Gilfra would want to hitch someone up as soon as possible. That's not to say that Gilfra's over the hill. A life of honest work and taking care of herself must have paid off, as Gilfra has aged like fine wine. So, if you like your wine vintage, Gilfra's the one for you. Number 10. Morwen. Morwen is the ultimate endgame spouse. Hailing from the Skarl village in Solstheim, Morwen was originally from Falkreath. However, after the death of her parents, she travelled across Skyrim, taking various jobs from soldering to mercenary work. But in her own words, she never felt at peace before arriving at the Skarl village. This makes Morwen already wiser and more mature than the competition, and it's this sensible demeanor, as well as a relatable background,
true. I think yes, I did. I did marry her one time, but it was like a very specific, like, Skull, or not Skull, but Solstheim playthrough where I didn't even go on the mainland at all. So the way I had my Skyrim set up, right, is for maximum roleplay, right? Because I didn't want, if I wanted to play a character that was strictly on the island of Solstheim, then I would essentially set it up to where um I would essentially set it up to where I didn't have to essentially go to the mainland at all to become very powerful. Obviously, at some point, if you're gonna deal with the Mirac shit, you have to understand that you're the Dragonborn and all that. So you do an adventure onto the mainland. However, I pretty much on that playthrough, I kind of I have some of my custom followers. There's the I don't know what I'm saying. Fuck it.
that makes Morwen such an attractive choice. She may not be the greatest spouse of all time, but she's more than a solid choice for an adventurer in their twilight years. Number 9. Mjol. I already know I'm going to get a lot of flack for
Facts.
this. I'm not saying that Mjol's a bad spouse by any
Facts. However, I know what he's gonna touch on here, and he's gonna touch on the fact that it comes with baggage, and I want to get rid of him, which is kind of fucking weird. Like, you're taken. You're taken. You don't even live in Riften anymore. Bitch, we live in Falkreath. Why the fuck is he here? What the fuck's going on? You damn.
stretch of the imagination. She's brave, kind, and loyal to a T. If I were to stop talking about her here, she would at least be in the top 5. But marrying Mjol comes with some unexpected baggage that quickly turns into this Nord's Achilles heel. Of course, I'm talking about Eren. If you thought the adoring fan was bad, then you haven't met this insufferable Imperial. Not only will he act suspicious about the Dragonborn's relationship, but worse still, he'll go as far as moving in with the newlyweds. You can even sometimes find
Oh my god. Now, for those who are deep into the modding community, well, not really. You don't have to be that deep, but you have to pause. Pause. Anyway, what I was going to say is that there is a mod called Amorous Adventures, and they take this aspect of his character and they times 10 multiply that shit on some goddamn Super Saiyan shit. Okay? They absolutely take that obsession and they freaking drill that home in the worst way possible. For those who understand, I see you. I see you.
Eren sleeping in the same bed as Mjol. So, sorry Mjol, you're a great gal, but I like my house simp-free. Number 8.
Facts.
Muri. Do you think the rest of the women on this list are a little too innocent? Maybe you're looking for a
Oh my god, I've gotten a few different playthroughs where I have picked Muri for either evil characters or like Falls in Love style playthrough. Like perfect for that role.
wife who doesn't have a heart, is most certainly a psychopath, and is constantly at risk of murdering you in your sleep. If you
Facts.
answered yes to any of that, then Muri's the wife for you. This Breton works as an apothecary in Markarth. However, most players will recognize her from the Dark Brotherhood quest. You know, the one where she asks you to assassinate her innocent stepsister for no good reason. Well, after solving this problem, as Muri puts it, she'll naturally get heart eyes for the Dragonborn and be open for marriage. Despite her worrying personality, Muri is an excellent spouse for one reason. While most followers are oblivious to the dubious acts we partake in, Muri is not only fully aware, but an active participant of said acts. Not
True.
only does this make her the premier choice for evil playthroughs, but her good looks and strangely wholesome demeanor make her a great spouse
Yup,
for any Dragonborn.
exactly what I was saying.
Number 7. Sharvi. Despite being cold-blooded, Argonians are a race that are few and far between in Skyrim. I mean, there's only one Argonian follower in the game, and we can't even tie the knot with this guy. Instead, that honor is reserved for Sharvi. And despite a look, which is something between a zombie and a Ninja
I think I
Turtle,
did a playthrough
Sharvi
like
is
this
one
one
of the
time,
brightest
but
personalities in Skyrim. Her
I think the only time that I've actually like had a consistent one or like a consistent Argonian marriage would be probably Yeah, it would have to be like some of the mods that I've downloaded, like the follower mods that have like a marriage as an option. And then like I did a bunch of retexture work to make him look less lizardy. But other than that, there's not really like as far as like she goes, I did one playthrough as an Argonian, I think, where I married her. It's like I've done several Argonian playthroughs, but most of them were like they didn't really see her as an option just based on like the type of character sheet that I brought up. And that's the nerdiest fucking shit. You'll probably hear me say, character sheet? Are you fucking kidding me, bearded bear? You're that much of a fucking nerd?
Optimism also goes hand in hand with her hard work, as she can be seen tanning the rags of Windhelm all day. So, though she'll probably frighten your children at night, Shavi will at least keep your house clean. And with her being literally the only Argonian open for marriage, you can at the very least be one of the few residents of Skyrim that can say they dated, and in this case married, an Argonian. Number 6.
To be fair, in hindsight, Bethesda saved themselves from this. Sort of. Sort of. The freaks still can, but it would have been 10 times worse if you would have had more options with more endearing backstories. Just saying. Same thing with the Khajiits, furries, and what do you call people who like reptiles? Uh, are they considered furries? Let me know in the chat below if somebody who likes a lizard is also considered a furry, even though lizards don't have fur. Pause.
6. Brelina. For the more magic inclined
Berlina.
among you, choosing a
Yo, I've chosen Berlina so many goddamn times. Well, I'm partial to Dunmer, to be fair. To be fair, let me get this bias out now. I am partial to Dunmer. Okay? I'm a big fan of Dark Elves. Okay? In my first D&D campaign, I was a drow because it was the closest thing that I could get. Okay?
spouse to keep up with your magical prowess, it would feel like finding a needle in a haystack. Luckily, Bethesda curated a mage who's not only one of the best followers in the game, but also makes for an excellent spouse. But don't be fooled by her
Yerp.
innocent demeanor. Brelina is likely as freaky as they come when we're talking about the sheets. I
Oh
mean,
fuck.
if the
I know
fact
what
that
he's
she
gonna do.
falls for you after becoming her personal guinea pig does
It's the fucking conjuration bullshit. I know it. He's gonna say it. It's gonna be some conjure, some fucking yeah. Okay.
doesn't reveal enough about her, then maybe the fact that she's a conjuration mage should be a cause for concern. After all, an adept in that school could come
I'm
up
the
with all
goat.
sorts of toys at her disposal.
Okay. Wasn't as bad. I was thinking worse than that. I've watched too much anime, and I will say no more.
So, as long as you're okay with
My
being
brain is
pummeled by
ruined.
all manner of unholy summons in the bedroom, then I'd say Brelina would make a perfect wife for the magic enjoyers among you. Number 5. Lydia. In case you didn't think I was biased enough against Lydia in the last video,
I
then
knew
let me
this one was
enlighten
gonna
you some
come up.
more. Much like
We
how
all
we
knew it.
represented her in the
Everybody
followers tier
has
list,
some sort of,
Lydia is virtually no different than the rest
partialness
of
to
the
Lydia.
housecarls. However,
It's just kind of the way it is, you know? She's the first person that you actually meet that ends up following you. And we're a fucking 40 minutes into this. This is gonna be a long goddamn.
what makes her special is the simple fact that she's better than the rest. Where all of the other housecarls are fighting to be like her, Lydia is the real deal.
Like and subscribe.
So, when you include all the great qualities that these housecarls bring to the table, and add Lydia's nostalgic charm and drop-dead gorgeous good looks, you have a recipe for one of the finest señoritas in all of Skyrim. Number 4. Silja. Good people in Skyrim are as rare as guards with good knees. So, when there comes a potential spouse who's not only beautiful on the outside, but also has a heart of gold, you know you've hit the jackpot. And Silja is probably the most good person in the entire game. She's a Nord miner who works on the iron ores of Red Belly Mine. Her way of life is already more honest than most others you'll meet, but it only gets better from there. She has an excellent relationship with her family and even needs you to deliver a message to them in order to become a marriage candidate. And when it comes to the potential mother of my children, kindness and honesty are as valuable as Daedric artifacts. But such qualities are a dime a dozen when it comes to Sylgia. With all the flattery I'm
I do want to say, we were talking about amorous adventures earlier. They completely twist this small little quest line here. Fucking twisted it so sinisterly. I will say no more. Then Sweet Home Alabama. Dun, 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 dun.
giving her, you'd think she'd have some secret that she's keeping in the closet. Maybe she orchestrated the murder of her previous lover, or she's an Imperial agent working in hiding. But such accusations would be far from the truth. What you see is what you get, and with Sylgia, you're getting one of the kindest souls in all Tamriel.
True.
Number 3. Ayla, the final potential wife
Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you a furry? No, 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 no. We are 19 minutes into this video, and it's 22 minutes long. Are you a furry? How is she this far up the list? I know she's like not like that way all the time. But one, oh wait, hold on. I just remembered something. She goes on a lot of different hunting parties with a very specific individual who is talked about multiple times in the rumor mill at the companions. And on top of that, he's a fucking werewolf. And I'm probably sure I'm probably pretty sure that you're gonna bring that up. But I want to touch on it now before it gets out of hand. If you choose her, you're a furry. Plain and simple.
in the companions, Ayla has all the great qualities of Rhea and Nyada combined, minus all their faults. So, although she's bold and proud,
She is pretty
she
hot though.
remains stoic. She also has a killer costume. She's one of the few characters in the game to don ancient Nord armor, which probably smells like death to other characters, but
True.
hey, it's not like I can smell her through the computer screen. She's also one of the most capable warriors in all of Skyrim, so although her parenting skills might be so-so, your children would be learning from the very best if they took hunting lessons with Ayla. And I almost forgot to mention that she's a damn
Good point.
werewolf. This not only ensures the safety of yourself and your kids, but opens up so many possibilities in the bedroom.
I knew it. 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 I knew it.
Overall, Ayla's a near-perfect spouse to have. She's confident, yet humble, passionate but composed. She's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So long as you can forget about all the fun time she had with Skjor. Number 2. Ysolda. When this list began, I didn't think that I would see Ysolda so high, let alone at number 2. Yet, when it comes down to it, Ysolda makes for an almost perfect wife.
Actually, a good pick. An interesting choice of activities she does on the, but at least she's not cheating on you. To be fair. To be fair. The amount of ups definitely negate the downs. I'll say that.
That's right, I said it. Fight me. Not only is she an excellent spouse to have during the early game, thanks to her house in the center of Whiterun, but her openness to other races, kind demeanor, and business-oriented mindset give Ysolda all the skills and knowledge she'll ever need to raise two little scamps in Skyrim's harsh landscape. I can just imagine her teaching children bargaining and diplomacy while they're out in the market stalls. And unlike most other spouses, it's nice to know that the family is actually producing. And sure, it may
True.
be a stimulant that sits in a legal grey area, but hey, it's honest work. And sure, she should be losing points for not being able to join in on your adventures. But for me, the spouse, adoption, and housing components of Sky
I think that's perfectly fine. I do like that they can go with you if you choose to do so. Um, but the dynamic of them just kind of being a wife is actually pretty good too. It's like she does have a lot of strength, but it's like specific to like the type of character that she is, and I think that's what makes her more endearing than just another generic follower that's just gonna run around with you.
Skyrim all represent a break from the chaos of the adventurer's life. No matter if you've come from fighting restless undead in tombs or talking with Daedra in another plane of existence, you can always come home to a cozy fire, a warm meal, and a loving family. And nobody is better suited to maintaining the place while I'm gone than Ysolda. Number 1. Janassa.
I'm the motherfucking goat. I'm the goat. I'm the motherfucking goat. My first wife, my first playthrough, best fucking race in all of Tamriel. I will fight anybody on that. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Look at that. Number one. Number one. Okay? She's very articulate. She's kind of mysterious. You get a little bit of a fucking background on who she once was before she became a mercenary. And on top of that, she has one of the most fucking OP DPSs in the game for vanilla. Obviously, it's a pretty even playing field once you add in mods. But for vanilla, she was ridiculous. I remember giving her two swords with paralysis, and she stun locks people, and it's so stupid how good it is. So stupid how good it. Okay? And on top of that, she's hot. She's hot as shit, dude. She doesn't look as good in vanilla, to be fair, but my God. My God. Let's continue.
Who else could top this woman? When Yada tries to act tough, she probably imagines herself as someone like Janassa. But when Yada comes off as annoying, this dark elf is the real deal. Found in the Drunken Huntsman,
Facts.
Janassa is not only
She literally, like, the first time, what the hell does she say? Um, the first time you talk to her, she's like, wait, hold on. I got this, maybe. She said something, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I will make great art for you. If that ain't the most poetic, fucking mysterious shit that you will ever hear in Skyrim, my God, they did a fantastic job making the Dunmer characters very interesting in this game.
an exceptional follower who can slice through enemies like they're hot butter, but her cool yet confident poise make her one of the best wives in the game. Unlike other fodder, Janassa doesn't revolve her life around the Dragonborn, but rather seems like an equal. Like a true lover, she'll never be against you.
Now. Hold on. Now, we're not gonna talk about equality here, okay? And before everybody starts all Twitter on me in the fucking chat, okay? It's a video game. Calm the fuck down, okay? Listen, we are not equal. You're a mercenary, okay? I am the Dragonborn. I am the leader of an assassin organization. I'm a leader of the Thieves Guild. I am the Archmage of Winterhold. I defeated Alduin. I defeated Mirak. And I gave Hermaeus Mora the middle finger, among other Daedra. Okay? And I pitted Aedra and Daedra against each other in a ultimate battle for who gets to keep the soul that I leave behind when I die. Anybody ever think about that? This is like a whole different video at this point. But if you think about it, it is going to be an all-out war when you pass on as the Dragonborn. Because of all the deals that you've made with the different Daedra and Aedra, it's going to be an all-out war amongst the gods to get a hold of your soul. So where will you end up? Who knows? Who knows? It's insane. It's insane.
Yet she'll still call out your heinous acts when they occur. She's also nowhere close to being overbearing as some of the more good-natured spouses, making her pretty easy to get along with, no matter your morals. Couple this with her unique appearance and a voice that's as mysterious as it is seductive, you have the makings of a spouse for all of your Skyrim playthroughs. There's nothing negative that I could find about Janessa, and as a result, she takes the cake as the best wife in Skyrim.
True.
Subscribe to Fall Damage, you milk.
Definitely subscribe to Fall Damage. What an absolute banger of a video, man. That was awesome. Where's it at? Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I just came across this video. You can see right there. I just watched. Hold on a second. You guys can't see it. My face cam's in the way. But let's see. Hold on. Laptop cam. Right there. Ranking every unique weapon in Skyrim. So I've seen his videos before, but yeah, once I saw this waifu one, I was like, "Oh, dude, you know I'm about to freaking react to this shit." So, abso-fucking-lutely. But hey, that's it for this video. We made it under an hour, 51 minutes on a 22-minute video. So like, subscribe, so I didn't waste an hour of my life, please. And give me suggestions on what you guys want me to do. Do you guys want me to do a tier list on these waifus and give you my full opinion and thoughts on it? Shit. Freaking let me know in the comments below what y'all want to see next. And thank you so much for watching and have a great day.